Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 153 for August 20th, 2025. I am Nemesis and I'm joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Yeah, I didn't catch much news stuff for the last couple weeks, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume not much happened, but of course someone's gonna go, or something's gonna happen the next couple days.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh well crap.
Well, crap.
But I've been keeping up with some of the stuff we watched last time. Actually, mostly watched Necronomiko because I didn't have a whole lot of time to watch other stuff. And I can say right now, Necronomiko went from subtext to outright overt eerie at one point. I'll just say that much. I won't say anything else beyond that, but yeah. It's no longer subtext.
No longer subtext. I know people use subtext.
Yeah. Beyond that, I haven't really kept up with the other two yet. Well, I keep up with Watanabe. Of course. But yeah, that sure did get better. And also, weirdly enough, they keep saying they're going to remove the old episodes. They still haven't. I don't think they still haven't done that.
Interesting.
Because they keep changing the plan. Now it's like the first 3 episodes are supposed to be up, and then it's like I'm looking, and it's like I think the 4th and 5th episodes are both still up, even though by this point they should be down only the 6th episode.
Yeah. Maybe it's we're going to remove them, better watch them, just to get people to jump in quickly.
I have no idea. Regardless, I've been enjoying that still. But we're not here to talk about those. We're here to talk about, the other franchise we've paid a lot of attention to this year because there's a lot of it. We kind of caught up to it and said, no, wait, there's more now. Kind of,
yeah.
The spin-off, My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Or Vigilante Boku no Hero Academia Illegals. Yeah. Well, yeah, this is a spin-off from the main series. It's also a bit of a prequel. It takes place before the start of the main My Hero Academia. So no Izuku or any Class 1A, any of that stuff. There's a couple cameos from some of the characters from that, maybe some of the heroes, but yeah, it's a whole new cast.
Yep.
Particularly the main character who Koichi Haimawari.
Yeah, Haimawari.
Yeah, he's a college student. He feels just kind of a dead-end place. He's got a crap house, a crap job. Feels just like a loser. Yeah, just kind of existing.
Yep, surviving.
Winds up seeing a kind of a street pop idol type person. Well, her name's Pop Step. She just performs, kind of little guerrilla shows. And then eventually he's, accosted by some thugs, and then, hey, look, some guy shows up and saves him, calls himself Knuckle Duster. But wait, he's not a licensed hero. He's a vigilante.
That's illegal.
And he just recruits the two of them into basically being vigilantes with him.
Yep.
And, basically, he's particularly going after, that one drug we saw in the main series, Trigger. He's going after that, trying to find the source, and, he's trying to do those stop those crime things from happening, except, again, illegally.
And that's have a license for that.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it goes. I heard a lot of people talking about this one and really talking very positively about this one, and yeah, largely, I would almost argue that in so many ways, this is somewhat of an improvement over the main series.
I would...
In many ways?
Yeah, maybe. I think it depends on what part of the main series you compare it to, but yeah, it can be.
There's definitely a lot about it I really like. There's definitely a couple of things I feel like it kind of dropped the ball a bit. But overall, it's a really enjoyable watch, and I'm actually looking forward to Season 2.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed what we had here. It was a slightly different... It's the same universe and world and whatnot that we know from the first one, but a little different take, a little different perspective on it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it was nice to see.
Yeah. So eventually, as we find out, Pop Step is Kazuho Hanayama, and Knuckle Duster is Oguro Iwao.
Wow.
And the three of them are fighting as vigilantes, unlicensed, and the whole thing is I feel like in some ways this is the big thing, is it's trying to have its cake and eat it too, in a sense, because it really tries to emphasize the whole fact that they're vigilantes and it's legal. And the thing is, though, it also feels like it's trying not to go too far, in the sense that, what they're doing, it's kind of trying to put them in this area where they're, kind of able to get away with it in broad daylight, despite the fact that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They're like getting away with being a vigilante. They should be, arrested or whatever. And they're just kind of everyone, like all these people know what they're doing and it's pretty obvious who they are. And yet they're still getting away with it.
Yep.
Because they're trying to exist in this weird gray area where they're just concerned citizens. Right. And it's like, it's BS. We all know it's BS. And yet it is kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, it feels like, you go into, oh man, it's going to be this whole thing where they're going to have to, trying to do the right thing, but also do it from, the shadows without getting caught and everything. And like, oh, no, not really.
No, they just kind of do it and they just
get away with it.
Make sure that they're not standing there when the actual heroes show up, which sometimes they don't even do.
So I was hoping for it to go to a little darker. It does have its dark moments. I'll say, I'll get into that a little bit, but I was hoping for maybe a little bit more of a darker look at My Hero Academia.
But it doesn't. I mean, it's not that much darker.
That's not to say the main series doesn't get dark. I mean, we had multiple dark moments throughout, but I was hoping for maybe kind of a more, and that's not the other thing. It's kind of as the main series went on, it kind of got more and more fantastical because just the nature of superheroes and stuff.
Yeah.
This one feels a lot more like, like what people call street level for like Marvel, whatever. It's very grounded and like small and focused. And I think that's one of the benefits this has over the main series is simply because the cast is so small, they're able to put more focus on these handful of characters versus, you remember in like My Hero Academia, there's that whole Class 1A thing.
Yeah,
they're trying to split
class.
And then they tried to bring in Class 1B and all the villains, and there's a lot going on. And it works, but sometimes a lot of the characters kind of get almost a token amount of focus, and then we move on now.
Yep.
Versus these, it feels like these characters are getting a lot of, we get to see a lot more of these characters in depth, and it really works in his favor.
Yeah, it does. We've only got 3 main characters on this one, and that's it.
Yep. And a handful of side characters and like a couple villains and whatnot, but not a huge amount of just like we don't have to split our focus so a bajillion different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it works in its favor really well. Yeah, so one of the things about it is it's pretty clear, like for example, one of the things is like we see Pop Step has a bit of a crush on Koichi, right?
Right.
That's one of the things we see, and we see more and more about it as like where it came from and everything. It turns out she's already had the crush for a while, which is the reason why she even talked to him in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an interesting thing. Because, like, it turns out, at one point he was actually going to take the hero exam, and he was late for it, and because he didn't get into any sort of hero schooling because he saved a kid who fell and was going to drown or something. And he thought it was a little pink-haired boy, but it turns out actually it was her, younger, so, her, and that's also one of the reasons why he doesn't, he's missing one of the hoodies in the collection that he has, and so ever since then, she's had a crush on him. Now that she's found him again, yes, that crush is still there. But, of course, she can't, good old kind of tsundere nonsense.
Yeah, she's a tsun.
Can't bring herself to actually tell him.
Yep. She was going to, but nope.
Yeah. She chickened out.
Because situation suddenly changed and she backed out.
The only thing there, but again, he's a college student. She's in high school. The thing is, you don't know how far along she is in high school, so it's a little bit in that.
Yeah, it could, because I think they said he was like a freshman in college. He just got into college.
Yeah, he's his first year, so he's not that much older than her.
Yeah, so
it's still in that sketchy.
Yeah, we're talking 2-3 years.
Yep,
at most.
Still, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Then of course you had Knuckle Duster there, like he's a little unhinged.
Just a little.
Just a little. Koichi's like, I guess, almost a straight man in the sense like he's the one who just kind of points out how ridiculous a lot of this stuff is.
Yeah.
And but also gets caught up in it anyway, because like because his whole power, his quirk is he can basically kind of remove friction from things and just slide around. Like
the weird was not just remove friction, he can actually move himself with his power.
So it's like he basically is able to slide around as long as 3 points of contact, supposedly.
There's an asterisk on that one, but
he thinks it's 3 points of contact, but it seems like, oh no, he's got more power than he thinks he does. He just
yeah.
One thing, he can do it on the air too, because the air is that's something, right? He can kind of do it on the air because his mom talked about how he used to float away.
Yeah,
he kind of forgot to do. He could do that, and he did until he kind of reawakens. Although he's kind of having a hard time actually doing it intentionally again.
Yeah,
but it's like one of the things. His quirk is actually a lot more powerful than you think it is. He thinks it is because there's a whole thing there. The way he moves around, everyone thinks it's kind of creepy and weird because he looks like a cockroach.
Yeah, because he's got to get down So his hand can at least one hand can touch.
Yep.
So it's usually perched on his hands and toes, crouched down and slides around. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and the other thing, he's got a reputation as callers because he tried to invite some people up to his place, and he lives in a place that looks so sketchy. Everyone assumed that he's basically gonna do some untoward things. And,
because his place is like a shack on the top of an abandoned tower.
They sell it to you as a penthouse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of that, he's got a reputation as callers for being creep.
Yeah.
Although he does eventually meet an upperclassman who, turns out she's got a connection to some existing characters.
What was that? Makoto?
Makoto.
Tsukauchi.
Yep.
Who's actually what? Is that like the sister or
she's
whatnot?
the sister of the detective the one who can tell that if people are lying or not. And so but she needs to make physical contact.
Yeah, she has a very similar but not quite the same power.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's interesting because she figures out pretty quickly that he's a vigilante because what was his original name? It was Mr. Nice Guy or something.
Yeah, the nice guy.
And then he's trying to call himself, but now he's calling himself the Cruller.
The Cruller?
And everyone thinks he's the Cruller.
Donut?
Everyone thinks he's the Cruller.
The Cruller, yeah,
because they're pronounced very similarly in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the funny thing was she figures out who he is, so she asks him point blank, "Are you the Cruller?" And he says, "Honestly, no, I'm not,"
because he's the Crawler.
And she's like, "Huh?" Because it didn't set it off.
Yeah, he didn't lie. He's not the Cruller.
He's not the Cruller. He's the Crawler. And also, of course, she's there to also be a bit of a foil for Kazuho there because, Koichi has a bit of an interest in Makoto, and Makoto might have an interest in him too.
Maybe.
That's why I said might.
Yeah, maybe.
So of course Kazuho immediately sees her as a threat. Glaring daggers at their back all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kazuho's also again, she's got all the aspirations of the idols. It's a really weird thing. They talk about how she doesn't sing that great. I'm like, she sings fine.
She sings fine, yeah.
Of course, it's that whole thing, like almost like a vocal equivalent. And she's so plain looking, like the Hollywood movies. Oh, she's so plain looking. Look at her. It's like, what world is that plain looking?
Yeah,
it's that sort of thing. We can't make it too bad because then it's off-putting to the audience.
Right. Yeah. Only when it's done for effect.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the weird thing about her is her costume. She paints her mask on, which is like, okay.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
That was one thing I was going to mention. It's like she paints her mask on,
which I find interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very minor plot point, but you actually see her paint it on. It's like, why take that effort? Why not just get a little...
Well, won't slip off.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's a lot more effort and harder to put on, but I guess you don't have to worry about it, slipping and sliding and misaligning and making you blind and whatnot. It's always going to be there, and it's always going to be where it needs to.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's got really good at putting it on quickly, I guess.
Yeah. It's also funny when, Koichi meets her without her costume. He's like, who are you?
Who are you?
And she gets mad because, she wears glasses and everything normally. And then she does her hair up and puts it, your pop step. And of course, that's just also one day there's an old man in his house. It's Knuckle Duster just just chilling at his house.
Just chill. Yeah, I find it hilarious that his house just
becomes the hangout place.
Just arbitrarily became the hangout.
Everyone just kind of
everyone just showed up.
Yeah, and
we live here now.
To the point where Kazuo's practically living there.
Yeah, you even put up a separator that this is my area. It's like, it's my area. Don't come here. House.
Yeah, that's the thing though. You already, that's it. You don't have to get it. Common law is going to kick in.
Yep.
You're going to be married soon without even realizing it. Whoops. But yeah, there's a whole thing there which is actually really interesting, which I like about how they did things was. There's a villain that shows up. Initially, we don't even realize she's a villain until it's like a little bit in. But yeah, Kuin Hatsuka. Turns out she's the queen bee of her school, and the whole queen bee thing is a bit of a tell because turns out actually she's got bees coming out of her eye.
Not the bees.
Weird bees with basically little jars instead of abdomens.
Yeah, so she can control these bees.
And they're injecting people with the trigger.
And she can customize what's in the bees'
jar
butts.
Yep.
Also, she apparently has a telepathic connection to the bees, so she can use the bees to spy on people too. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's been giving the people trigger and everything, and conspire. Of course, initially some of the thugs that Koichi ran into, they got the dose of the trigger, and then they went on rampage, and then they kind of mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah, that's a very interesting take. Very different than how they treated villains or whatnot in the main series. We had small time villains who ended up being good in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they were just random dudes.
Yep.
Were just kind of jerks at first who ended up in a bad situation. That is one place where this show does have a slightly different perspective. I kind of wish it would have done a little bit deeper dive onto stuff like that, but
yeah,
it was definitely neat to see how they handled that.
Yeah,
because I think the main series did not quite like that, but like the where they were just like, oh, bad guy, villain, lock him up.
Yeah.
No other way around it.
Yeah, like here though, we got remember Ida from My Hero Academia, his the older brother, the one that got attacked by Stain and everything. He's here, and he finds Koichi, and he figures out Koichi's a vigilante, but he just kind of turns, kind of looks the other way.
Yep.
And everything. Even actually at one point invites Koichi to work for him, and then rescinds it when he sees Koichi's doing, but still works with him and doesn't do anything about doesn't do anything to actually stop him or anything. So that's interesting in its own right. So yeah, that's the thing about the Vigilantes here, is it's willing to go into a little bit of more gray area than say My Hero Academia does. But of course you also got the thing there's a couple I guess punks, middle school punks who are big Pop Step fans, and they wind up being a whole thing right there. And one of the biggest, I think almost funniest things is the character they introduced, which Captain Celebrity. The American hero, number one American hero, who clearly this is before Stars and Stripes.
Clearly,
yeah, he's here in Japan. Why is he here in Japan? Big of a messy divorce case with his ex-ish wife.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's been caught canoodling a few too many times, and he's over here in Japan. And yeah, he's got his whole PR, I guess, trying to do a better PR thing, and he's very self-absorbed.
Oh, very much.
He's more concerned about looking good than actually doing good, and so on and so forth. So kind of one of those emblematic things, we see we see little hints of in the main series, but it's emblematic of the worst kind of hero.
Yep.
And
one of the other ones is the amount of lawsuits against him for property damage. Because he did not care about property damage.
Yeah, and then of course, he then tries to mac on Makoto, and Makoto's on the phone with his wife.
Yep.
Who's still in the middle of divorcing, I guess.
Or has some sort of arrangement or whatnot. Either way.
Regardless, he all of a sudden goes, oh crap. And suddenly he's very more railroaded into more or less doing what he's supposed to be doing. And then also reforming his image, including his cheer section is no longer, women. It's a bunch of middle school boys, Spirit of Japan stuff and whatnot.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh god, he's actually kind of funny just because of how much of a jerk he is.
Yeah.
He's the perfect kind of fictional jerk.
Yeah.
He's written in such a way that he gets his comeuppance constantly right after he does something stupid or annoying. Yeah, but then there's another thing which is also really I guess it's one of those things that they didn't really have to explain it, but it kind of works as a backstory. Was a Stendhal.
Stendhal, yes.
Yep. He shows up as another vigilante, and but his whole thing is he's going to kill these villains, right?
Yep.
And also, and then he kind of, this is a thing where he encounters Knuckle Duster, and Knuckle Duster's like, no, don't, not kill. And so he winds up fighting it, and Knuckle Duster, smashes his face in and kind of gives him some words, and Stendhal goes, I see now, I do not have the proper resolve, and then cuts off his nose, and surprisingly suspect, considering his whole quirk is eating people's blood and making him paralyzed. Yeah, it's Stain. And he cut his nose off. That explains why his face looks so weird in the main series, because he cut his nose off.
Yeah, because Knuckle Duster broke it and he just cut it off.
He also kind of a weird place where he kind of worked with the villain, sort of. And then he threw a knife at her, but he hit the eye that was with bees in it.
Yeah.
So she didn't die. Yeah, there's just kind of a lot of weird little things like them just kind of wind up being like Koichi and Pop Step. They're all kind of wind up working for the local like shopping center where that Captain Celebrity accidentally damaged and it's being rebuilt, and they're working as a thing there, and like the shark guy who just wanted to shake her hand. It's like, oh, that's harmless. He just wants to shake her hand. And, oh well, no, now he's pushing it too far because now he wants kisses too.
Yeah, that was a thing that the Teruo, I believe, was. His quirk is that he can turn into a shark.
Mm-hmm. He's got like shark features, and then he gets more and more shark-like because of the trigger. And then now he's this massive. Now the thing is not reversing anymore, so now he's this massive hulking shark thing. And
so that was a big one. He's just a super big fan and takes it a little bit too far, but Miss Queen Bee over there is taking advantage of people to cause chaos and just injecting random people or people who might be beneficial to causing particular kinds of chaos, and he ends up getting wrapped up in all this. Fortunately, that is something that the actual real heroes were starting to take notice of. It's like, they're villains. It wasn't their choice. They were injected against their will, and they kind of went crazy. So it was kind of nice because again, in the main series, it seemed more like all villains are just bad guys and they just get immediately thrown in jail and that's it. So it's starting to see like it's not always that cut and dry every time. Is definitely nice to see.
Yeah, also the cameos from some of the characters from the main series, like Eraserhead and Midnight and Present Mike. They show up, and also even other cameos, like there's a Midoriya's mom. Izuku's mom shows up briefly at one point. And so does Ida himself. He kind of briefly, because like he's talking about his little brother. He can't turn yet. He goes running straight into it. Just crashes.
Yeah, and that was him teaching or getting Koichi to figure out how to use his power properly. I don't have any brakes. Well, don't stop yourself. Just go the opposite direction.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd also liked a bit with like all about Knuckle Duster at the beginning. Just like he's like, he's like, let me see your tongue, because the whole thing with the trigger is it makes your tongue black. He's like, he's going around, just let me see your tongue.
Let me see your tongue.
I think we're just trying to rein that in. You're gonna call attention to us.
Yeah.
And also initially Koichi's like, I don't want any part of this, and you're part of this regardless.
But it keeps following him.
Yeah.
Trouble just follows him.
Koichi's mom shows up, and apparently her quirk is she can slap things remotely. Which, oh crap.
Oh no. Koichi's mom is very much the
overbearing parent.
Very high expectations and whatnot.
Nothing you do is good enough.
Yeah. I like that. Shows up, oh crap, I have to get a fake girlfriend. Makoto, can you be my fake girlfriend? Alright, fine. And immediately Koichi's like, Koichi's mom's like, nah, she's too good for you. That's a fake. Ow.
And then the Kazuho tries to show up and because she's trying to pretend to be the girlfriend, and
without
just kind of with no coordination, so that just made everything worse.
Just made things awkward.
And the thing else about Koichi, also he wears these he has a bajillion All Might hoodies. He wears one when he's doing his he
wears different ones when he's out and about. He has some favorites. He has all but one.
Yeah. But one of the other big things also is like, Knuckle Duster, it turns out he has a personal connection to the villain, Kuin, and it turns out it's his daughter, kind of? Because it's his daughter's body. Because apparently the villain is actually the bees in the body.
Yeah, apparently it's another bee, another person who goes and possesses.
There's a literal bees. Queen bee in the body controlling the body, and that's the whole thing there. It apparently moves hosts as, the body degrades. Okay, I'll move hosts now. And like that's what happened to his wife and her mother, was because we see that she had the eye patch in the hospital too, and apparently the bees lived in her, and then they moved to the daughter when the body started to wear out.
Yeah, and
they even had this thing was like, well, this body had a good run, and then they start going to plan to move to another body, and then he shows up and stops that.
Yep.
Because there's a whole thing there. Because the weird thing is the body they host in also it apparently somewhat influences the bees.
Yeah, I think somewhat. Maybe.
Regardless, it's a weird thing because, she does survive, but it's like, I'm sitting there going, how? Because when he pulled the queen bee out of the eye socket,
Don't think about it.
Ugh,
don't think
that
about
thing
it.
was huge.
It's hammer space.
It's like
The bee is bigger than her head. The queen bee is like bigger than her head. How did it
not
even
quite
fit
that
through
big,
the eye
but
socket?
where'd the brain go?
Yeah, don't think about
Because
it.
she wakes up later and she's got an eye patch and she's clearly in the hospital. But other than that, she's alive, and that means okay, there's brain activity, and
It means there's still a brain.
the only thing I
Don't
think of is
about
like
it.
somehow the queen bee's able to do that thing like an animal, just wraps around the brain.
Oh,
Wraps around, it squishes itself and wraps around the brain or something.
yeah, it gets really squishy and wraps around. And
Of course, that
envelops
doesn't
it.
explain where all the other bees go.
Like I said, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like everything about this show and this series violates physics. It's just another thing to add to the
It's
list.
just, well, congratulations, you lived, but also you lost an eye.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lost an eye.
because
Although I'm certain there's technology in this world you can get your eye back or something. Just wait a few years for what's her face to reverse it for you.
yeah. The other thing was, there's another villain who seemed to be connected to the bees, which we don't see his face, we just see that Bulge is just in shadow with a big old glowing scar across it.
Oh yeah.
He shows up briefly at the end, but we don't really know his identity. But he's clearly, clear, he's going to be a big thing in season 2. And I believe also it's implied Queen is working for, All for One as well.
Yeah, that's what the implication is.
Or at least the
Definitely.
bees inside Quinn.
Yeah, the bees were.
Like, that's the thing. Are the bees, like, themselves, like, actually just a person's quirk who's just kind of, they figured out they can just jump to another body?
Possibly.
That's alarming. Yeah, regardless, it was actually just kind of really cool because, again, it's very grounded. It's very localized, and it works really well because of that. But yeah, the biggest problem just simply is, it just also at the same time is just trying to do the whole, it's trying to emphasize the whole, the legal
It's
aspect
illegal,
of it. But
like
also
it's totally
no,
they
wait,
don't
hold
care.
up. They can still have their normal lives though.
Yeah.
Like I would have loved to kind of have to really be careful about how they do things, but
For the most part, it seems like the legit heroes just turn a blind eye.
Yep.
It's kind of subtly mentioned, but not I don't think well enough, that the vigilantes can do things that the real heroes can't. They can go places and do things because they're not bound by all the regulations and rules.
Yeah, which is kind of a little bit
So
of a philosophy to have.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those, like, I can see it because, like, the heroes can see, like, as long as they don't cross certain lines, we'll look the other way because they're still doing good. But as long as they, again, don't cross lines, they do start to talk about the history and why it is. Like, they bring up, like,
the beginnings
how
of
few...
when quirks came up in the first place.
Yeah,
And
there were only vigilantes. There was no legit heroes because the organizations and regulations hadn't been made yet. None of that had happened.
then as we were made, a lot of those vigilantes were then deemed criminals or deemed villains because, like, most of you are just here for the sake of beating the crap out of people.
Yeah, or various reasons. But yeah, like how few of the vigilantes in the area where it was all started actually became legit was a tiny percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it brings up other things like maybe they don't all agree with how the regulations are formed. Like, oh yeah, some of them are just they're vigilantes because it gives them an excuse to beat up people.
I mean,
right.
Again,
But some of them are like the regulations impair their ability to do good, so they shouldn't be bound by them. I hate to reference other media, but it's sort of like in Avengers, the Accords, that whole thing, and Civil War. Yeah,
and then of course there's the whole thing which we know from the other series about the whole. The whole series kind of brings up complaint about, which brings up the point of the system that's in place isn't really working right now. It's actually creating problems that are unseen until they blow up to be too big.
Yep.
And so it's an interesting thing, and that's an interesting thing in its own right. But there's also a conversation, or very early on, Knuckle Duster meets Eraserhead, and there's a bit of a fight because Eraserhead is assuming he's a villain, and like they kind of have an understanding. Eraserhead kind of figures out what Knuckle Duster's doing, but is like, okay, I see what you're up to. I'm just gonna pretend I saw nothing.
Yeah,
I saw nothing. You're just a concerned citizen.
The fight would have gone a lot quicker and ended a lot quicker if Knuckle Duster wasn't such a knucklehead.
Yeah. The other thing is I also like almost I mentioned Pop Steps. Like her quirk is like she can leap in the sense that like she can just as her foot context she can just push herself, jump really high
and land
without breaking her legs.
Yeah.
But she needs a surface. And Knuckle Duster, if he has a quirk, we haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's a big one. We have not actually seen.
We don't know if he's because Eraser tries Eraser's quirk and he just keeps coming. Oh crap!
It did nothing. Oh no!
Either he doesn't have a quirk or he just doesn't need to bother using it because he doesn't need it to beat the crap out of people.
Nope, he's just a big buff
really
dude.
well trained.
Yeah, he's just a big buff dude.
Now, as it seems, also that's the other thing. As it seems, by the end of the season here, seems like Knuckle Duster's kind of left Koichi and Kazuho. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the case for season 2, if he's still going to be around or not. But it seems like he basically I accomplished my mission. I did exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep, his entire thing for going after Trigger was just to track down his daughter.
Yep, track down his daughter and save her.
Yep, and he did that
because he failed the first time. He's not going to fail this time.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing overall.
I would expect him to at least make an appearance in season 2.
Yeah. It's also I would also say very much it's also got a very goofy sense of humor that I really like as well because it's kind of in the same vein as My Hero Academia, but so it does know when to have its levity.
Yeah.
It knows when to have be more serious, and it also borrows a lot of the music and stuff from the main series too, which I'm totally fine with because that music is pretty good too.
Yeah, and it doesn't borrow it overly. Like there's a couple songs like the really big bombastic one that pops in. Yeah, and it just there it is. We got good stuff coming. Like yeah.
Or that other one.
They don't wear it. They don't wear it out. So when you hear it, it's big and important.
Yeah. Instead
of just using it all the time.
Yeah, so that's my big thing. Just simply. Generally really fun characters. Generally, I think it works overall. It does have my biggest complaint it definitely is it doesn't go far enough in some areas in the sense of the differentiating self in the sense that like it just feels like they're just kind of heroes but they don't have to worry about the whole they're doing things illegally thing that much. It like feels like a very almost like a tertiary concern even though it should be like a big deal.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest complaint really.
Do we need more what's his face from Spider-Man to yell at them all the time?
Yeah, so as it stands, the animation studio is not surprisingly the same one that does the main series. It's Bones, so same animation. So yeah, so it's really good. As it stands, and beyond this, of course, yeah, it's a weird thing. Bones is kind of like. It's Bones Films, which is kind of like it's I guess an offshoot because they're like it doesn't go very far back, which is weird because we know they've done a lot of things. So yeah, I guess it's an offshoot of Bones. But Koichi, he's voiced by Shuichiro Umeda.
Oh, that's familiar.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's Hikaru.
Yep. Like we just did that.
We just talked. We
literally just talked about him.
Of course, Psalm 100 and everything, all the same stuff. We just talked about that, and then the whole lot. Kazuho's Ikumi Hasegawa, who is Ubel in Frieren.
Oh, Ubel. Yeah,
Ubel. Also Undead Unluck, and of course Kita in Bochi.
Yeah.
Mayonaka Punch as well, Masaki, and I know who that is. Which also means she's also an Uma Musume. I'm trying to think she's Bourbon. Yeah, Bourbon. There she is. Bourbon. Mohono Bourbon. And that's Dungeon Meshi and World Die Star. Yeah, she's a Kundai World Die Star. Quite a few things I've watched and know about. Goblin Slayer. And that's, it only goes back to 2017. And Knuckle Duster, Oguro, Yasuhiro, Mamma Mia. Yeah, I was like, it's just that. He's in Dr. Stone. Oh, that recent Terminator anime. Oh, he's Gigantomachi in My Hero Academia.
Oh, hey. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, there's some pocket monsters. Oh, he's Gengar. Huh, interesting.
Gengar.
Vinland Saga.
Vinland, oh yeah.
Not a whole lot, actually. It only goes back to 2021. So, that's, I guess, Makoto, just because she's fairly important as well. Asami Aseto.
Asami
Seto. Yep. Gee, I wonder who that is. It's not like she hasn't popped up a whole bunch.
Didn't we just talk about her recently?
Nagi in the rock anime. She's Nobara in Jujutsu Kaisen. She's in the Bunny Girl Senpai and a lot of things because we keep seeing her over and over again.
A lot.
Oh, there's 100 Girlfriends and Girls on Panzer and this thing's not loading. There it goes. Oshinoko and there's Yuri's My Job.
Should probably also mention the Queen Bee.
Yeah, Queen Bees. Yeah,
Sayaka Senbongi, who is Kikuri from Pochi the Rock, and Animalia from Shangri-La Frontier second season. Yeah. Haru from Beastars. Marcel from Dungeon Meshi. So a lot of names that have done a lot of things.
Yep. Oh, hey, there's Demon Girl next door. The Meat Girl. Oh, there's a JoJo.
A JoJo.
So yeah, those are the big important ones. Overall, it's a really I was impressed.
Yeah,
spin-offs could be really bad.
It's a crapshoot.
But the good news is this is really good. The first season is actually also pretty short. It's only 13 episodes long. So, it's a fairly standard length, so nothing too long. And they already confirmed season 2 is coming sometime next year, clearly after the final season of the main series. So I'm not sure. Hopefully they don't milk this. I'm not sure how long this is actually going to be because I'm worried about that. That's what my biggest worry is. I'm going to milk this because we got to keep the My Hero Academia train rolling. Got to keep that money rolling in.
Yeah, we'll have another 3 or 4 movies of
and more spin-offs and just got to keep it going until eventually, there's just nothing left. We can, and
they'll
it's
do
dead.
A full villains spin-off, which might actually be good.
Depends.
But maybe.
You'd have to, that's one of those weird things. Yeah, overall, it's actually generally fun, although, again, kind of somewhat flawed. There's definitely some high-level stuff I'm not really super, I'm got a little disappointed in. But, it's still generally a fun time, and I'm looking forward to season 2 next year, or whenever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's it for this anime.
Yep.
For now.
Because
we'll come back to it.
We intend to, at least.
Yeah, because we gotta get the whole thing. We gotta do the whole thing.
Well, yeah, this far in. Seasons.
We're already this far in My Hero Academia as a whole. We gotta go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you liked what you heard, you can listen to past and future episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled LIBSYN. If you want to, subscribe to the RSS feed there. You can also subscribe to us via other methods, including on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts. Search for us on any of those and subscribe if you'd like. And, of course, you can also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments or anime recommendations or whatever. You can also follow our various social media. It's all listed at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact, and you can, follow us on any of those that you're choosing. So, and that's it for this one. Next time will be September. And, well, since, this franchise has kind of really popped off recently, thanks to a certain global release, we're going to be returning to the Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
Yay.
Season 3. We meant to go back to that a while ago, and we just kind of never did. And, well, I guess
let's do it.
Good time to do it now, considering, the explosion of Uma Musume popularity in recent months.
Back to the horse girls.
Yep. So, we're going to be finishing that one off. And, yep. Go looking forward to a good time, I hope.
Yep. We hope.
Hope you enjoy the remains of your summer. It's coming to a close.
Yeah, here
midway
the
through
rain
August
has
now.
Decided to return. See if that lasts.
Again, of course, as usual, keep yourself safe and all that stuff as things get more turbulent than ever.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.